Okay, in my story, the last story of, well, I can continue from there, but the last story that I wrote, this is what happens in the last story. Okay, Gohan has been training the whole time after Bojack. Okay, and long story short, he meets somebody. I'm not gonna reveal that until I get to my last story. Okay, but I'm not gonna reveal who it is. Okay, but he meets somebody along the line that he talks to earlier on after he reaches Super Saiyan 4 and almost about to reach Super Saiyan 5. Okay, and in my story, Gohan reaches Super Saiyan, what I call X, which is 10. Okay, and that's the strongest Super Saiyan you can get to. In this story, at the end of where had stopped at, Gohan reaches Super Saiyan X, but in this one, he is so powerful that he shakes not only his universe, but the multiverse of Dragon Ball Ascendance. Is that what I call it? And it's the story of Gohan after Bojack and what he realizes and what his grandfather, Chi Chi's dad, tells him and talks to him about. In this story, he shakes the multiverse when he turns Super Saiyan 10. And when he shakes the multiverse, he does win the battle. Okay, this one, anyway. And it was a demon, okay, that was conjured up. It's kind of like, um, what's his name? Uh, Janimba, okay, but it's on a totally different scale, okay. Janimba, or this guy that I talked to, his name is Dalirion, okay. Dalirion is a congregation of all the evil, it the multiverse. He's all the evil in heaven, hell, or not heaven, but obviously, but in hell and all in the multiverse. He's like all the bad guys that had died. He kind of like absorbed all their energy, and he's actually an angel, well, a fallen angel, and he resides in hell, HIFL, okay, in the DBZ universe. And when Gohan does reach this, he turns into the Super Saiyan X, which Super Saiyan X in my story is actually like Super Saiyan 4, but he is more like of a monkey, but a humanoid type monkey with the body, and he has multicolors. It's red, gold, and white. Okay. And I wrote this story a long time ago before Ultra Instinct, before anything. I wrote this story actually and I believe it was 2005 is when I finished the story. Okay. Now I have most of the pages. I lost some of the pages along the way. But a friend of mine told me I should tell the story and, rewrite the story that I had before. But I told him about what happened at the end of the story. And he told me that I should fucking put it out there and let people know about it. And I agree with him. Okay. But in this story, Gohan turns into Super Saiyan X. And when he turns into Super Saiyan X, see, my Super Saiyan 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are way different than what you see from any other fan animation. Okay, the more he turns into, by the time he turns into Super Saiyan X, he's more of a monkeyfied humanoid. Like a Rosaro, but like more humanoid in it. And when he powers up and turns into this, he shakes the multiverse, um, and reality itself, and so much so that it might destroy because of the power that he resides in. And he keeps training since Bojack. Not only him, but also you got Dende that trains. I involved Krillin, Piccolo, of course, his daughter. He also, in my story, he had a son. Uh, his son was named Goku Junior, and yes, obviously he was named after his dad. But he also had another son that was a baby at this time, and his name was Piccolo, but he was a half Saiyan. and half human from Fidel. Okay, but at this time he shakes it all. Okay, and if he releases all his energy, he can destroy the multiverse on its own. And actually, well, I can't reveal that yet. Okay, but in the reveal of this story, there's someone else that has been watching him the whole time and actually knew that he was going to do this. Okay, it's a little bit different. I don't have Zeno as the god or whatever. The god of the one true god of this multiverse is way different than Zeno is. Um, but before I get to that, if you guys want to know the story and what happens, and yes, Gohan does defeat this guy, but it takes so much because not only does he just absorb the humans, he also absorbs the angels that are involved as well. And like I said, my God is different than Zeno, so it's different. And his angels that are upon us, or the Kais, and I didn't have the God's destruction, so it's a different story. Like I said, but there is the Kais, and there's a hierarchy of the Kais, just like in our universe before we got Beerus and stuff like that. We had the Kais, the North Kai, the South Kai, East Kai, West Kai, Grand Kai, and Supreme Kai, and upon that, and then we had the the tournament Kai that was supposed to be above all them, like the King Kai or whatever his name was, and but we had multi versions of these people and multi versions of the Earth of Dragon Ball and how it happened. But in this one, like I said, he could destroy it all. And it's kind of like what he could do. And like, if you know anything about Super Saiyan 4, when he turns Super Saiyan 4, he acts kind of like UI. His body, once you use the move on him, his body actually reacts, and you can't use that move on him anymore. Or you can use it, but he'll get out of it. His body will know how to get out of it. When he's at Super Saiyan X, it's kind of like UI, but it's on a whole different level. Like, his body will react and perform without him thinking, he's not thinking, he's not worried about what's happening. But at that time, his body is just so powerful that I haven't gone further on with this story, but this is the last story of it. But more that I think about it, the more I can do more different things and and expand on it. But the last story that I wrote, this supreme being, like I told you, he is more destructive than anything that you see. Beerus, Zeno, as far as what we've seen Zeno do, the Grand Priest and stuff like that, he is way more on a destructive base. And I know Dragon Ball, Heroes kind of goes into different aspects of continuity. Sorry, I got the hiccups. And letting people, it's just different ways, But in this one, he absorbs angels, he absorbs the Kais, he absorbs all the demons from the demon realm. He absorbs all the evil in the universes and then tries to use it against Gohan because nobody can defeat him. And like I said, Gohan never stops training. He has this different way. And in my story, we bring back the Saiyans. We bring back King Vegeta. Unfortunately, we have to destroy a lot of the Saiyans because of them acting out and thinking that they can be more powerful than the others. Actually, I have a pretty dramified one with King Vegeta and Vegeta himself. And King Vegeta ends up surviving, but a lot of the Saiyans don't because they try to go up against Vegeta, Goku, Gohan, and the other Z fighters that are there. And they try to overthrow them and thinking that they can, stand up against them. But anyway, in this last story, he shakes the multiverse. He destroys the guy I told you about. but it's an awesome fight. Like it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and the whole time, and you think, hey, this guy Gohan's gonna lose. Like there's no way that Gohan can win, and then when he powers up and he's just like, I was just playing with you the whole time. Now it's time to get serious, and he destroys him. And then he has an interview, or someone comes upon him and talks to him. Now he met him later or early on in the story, but he doesn't know who that is. He never mentions his name. But at this time, he mentions his name and lets him know that he's been watching him the whole time, and he knew that it was going to happen this way. But he had to push him in certain ways, and so throughout his story, he kind of like nudged him along and let him know, and kind of like put people in his path to guide him and to make sure that he stayed on the path that he did, because it was actually Gohan who had to do this. And if listen to Dragon Ball Z and the lore and stuff like that, Vegeta talks about this a long time ago, how Gohan, or half-blooded Saiyans and humans, have so much more potential than actually full-blooded Saiyans, but it's not like that because of who Gohan was born from. Okay, and people don't realize that Gohan is born from the strongest human woman, which is Chi Chi, and she actually had a power up, kind of like Kaioken, but not as powerful. But she had a power up, and she was in her prime when she had Gohan. She was, she could battle Goku, and go one on one with him, and even land punches and stuff like that on him. And Goku was so far above her, and then he took, before he even took off his weights, but still in the tournament when he fought Chi Chi, we know what happened, but she was the strongest woman at that time. And Goku was a Saiyan, and he had this tremendous power that he was kind of born with, But Gohan, we've seen it as a kid. Like he automatically, protects himself, and he saved himself with his tail when he was falling down the waterfall, and all this other things that you see that Gohan helps. It's like with what the heck is his name? Garlic Jr. the first time, and then the second time when he destroys the Spiceman, and all this stuff. And we see this potential throughout this whole time in Dragon Ball Z lore. But my story starts off with Bojack, right after Bojack. And he's talking to his grandfather, and he's telling him, he doesn't know what to do. His dad is gone. He remembers seeing his dad in Cell Saga and helping him, and then even in the BoJack series, he sees him helping him. And I've always been hesitant to tell this story because I don't know how the fans will react. I don't have I have a kind of a concept drawing of certain people and certain things that had happened, and the description of those people and the planets that they visit, and people they fight, it kind of goes along with GT, the story of GT, but it actually goes on further. The dragons are nothing compared to what happens at the end. And at this time, the evil was so evil and corrupt that they go after anybody. Just like the dragons in GT, remember? They went after Pan, and she was a baby, and stuff. They actually go after Gohan's youngest child, and Fidel. But Pan is actually the one that protects them and hides them. And like I said, it's a whole nother story. It's a whole different outlook on what happens. Actually, my man, I wish that I can find somebody that can animate what I want to put into a story. And if I can find that person that can animate, because I don't have the computers and the stuff to animate, or the time. I'm a single parent. Like I said, I wrote this back in 2005 when I finished it. I have most of the story, still to this day. There's a few pages that are missing, but I still remember what happens because I wrote the story. But if I can find somebody to animate this, and we can go so far with this, and so detailed and fighting, and I know that the fans would be happy with it if I can actually put it into like an anime form, and and fighting, and the characters that I developed, and the story that I developed along the way. Um, but if anybody's interested, this is my way of finding out if anybody is interested in helping me bring this into like an anime form or drawing into characters and stuff like that. Um, but I'd say it's about another. I could put this all into about like 60 to maybe 80 episodes, but it'd be really fast, and it would be a lot of fighting, obviously, because we love Dragon Ball. And that's what we love, is fighting. But it's also a good story to tell at the end, and I promise nobody will be disappointed. And then by the time we get to the end of my story, excuse me, we could actually go even further and beyond, and maybe even take some fan theories and stuff like that and go further than beyond. And like I said, you see all these like animes and all these multi animes that are going, like what's that anime multiverse thing that they were doing. And even beyond that, like, my characters are so much stronger than the form where Goku has like the upside down V on his head, and Vegeta has the upside down V on his. It's so much more powerful than that. Beerus and Whis and all those guys can't even compare to the power scale that I have, with the enemies and with the heroes that help along those. Even Krillin becomes kind of like a god figure, but like more of a human. But it's like he has like I would say like a top out. Like he has a certain level that he can reach, but he can't go no further. But it's because he's human. And then, like I said, Gohan has the potential to be so much more powerful, and it's kind of what I wrote upon the, like the DBZ universe had shown and taught to us about this even further. Like I said, back in the Z Saga, when the Saiyans came to Earth and stuff like that. But I'm actually looking for someone who can do the anime. I can show the characters and stuff like that. General Tao and all them, and the scientists and stuff like that. Super Android 17, the dragons. They all come upon that too. But that's way before. Gohan actually, by the end of being able to have the dragons come along, he actually reached a Super Saiyan 5 level, which is different than the actual Super Saiyan 5 level of any other anime that I've seen, any other story that I've seen. I kind of went a different route, if that makes any sense. But I want to know the fans. I want to know that, like, you guys want to know the story. Do you want to know how bad it goes? Do you want to know how deep it goes? Super Saiyan, as far as my story in my universe, Super Saiyan X is the farthest you can go. By that time, his body is way different, reacts on its own. It's like way stronger than UI has ever seen. The Grand Priest, as far as what we've seen, we have never seen him fight, but as far as what I've seen or explained and stuff, that's way stronger than that. Even the Gohan is stronger than Zeno, and in the Dragon Ball Super era. He's just way more powerful than that. He's on another whole level, and he actually has to go into different universes and fight these people to protect those universes without anybody knowing who he is. He even meets other universes, Gokus and superheroes, and actually one of the universes, there's actually Piccolo, who's actually the strongest character, and then I have another character. His name is Sadala Jr. And in another universe, Sadala Jr. is one of the most powerful characters in that universe, and he actually trains him. Gohan actually trains him, and him get stronger. And because of Sadala Jr., Gohan actually reaches another level, and I believe that was level Super Saiyan 7, if I'm not mistaken in my story. Like I said, I don't have the story right in front of me, but I did write the story. I'm willing to go. I have character designs and stuff like that about new characters, new abilities, way different hardcore abilities than these abilities, and harder to maintain or to deflect against and protect against because of these stories that happen. But I've been talking to a few of my buddies, and I let them know the story. I let them kind of read the last page and tell them what was going on, and they all say the same thing. They say that I should let this story out, but I want to get it animated so bad. But like I said, I don't have the applications, the computer, or anything like that to animate these characters, plus the time and stuff that it takes. I run my own business. I'm a single father. I actually have multiple businesses. So it's just really hard. So if I can find someone that put this in an anime form and story tell, and I can tell the story and maybe get some more actors to tell different varieties of characters. I can do probably about like 7 characters on my own with different voices and stuff like that. If I can get those people to help me out, and if it does blow up, then, we can share the wealth and stuff like that. I understand that. But as far as the story goes, I know that a lot of people will like it. I talked a lot about the last story that happens when Gohan turns Super Saiyan X. The change when he does it is just so dramatic, so intense, that I know all the multiverses feel it. But not only all the multiverses feel it, Gohan actually learns about, like the spirit bomb and stuff like that. But it's not the spirit bomb that actually happens. It's actually energy from all these multi-universes giving into him and feeding him because of the enemy that is about to erase all the universes and take control. I don't know if you ever read the Marvel story about Ultron, or just recently there was a story about Ultron and how he took over the multiverse and stuff like that on the What Ifs. But it's on a whole different scale than that. He actually was doing this on purpose. And after Gohan's win, is just, the story will blow your mind. The story will make you think. The story will make you cry, or the story will make you happy. But like I said, it's about 60 to 70 episodes if I can get it into anime form. And it's straight to the point. There is some lag time here between, but most of the time it's like a ongoing fighting and struggle and a way to think upon it. Man, you got to remember that Gohan is not only the strongest character at this time, but he's actually the smartest Saiyan ever to live. Smartest half Saiyan, I know, but smartest person. Because remember, he does go to school. And in my story, Gohan not only does continue his education, but also continues his fighting on the weekends. And that's why he uses the time chamber on the weekends, or he'll go up to Kami's Lookout and he'll train with Dende, Krillin, and Yamcha and Tien, and they bring back Vegeta and Goku. And there's even a point where Gohan and Vegeta actually train together, and the breakthrough that they have together as far as breaking Vegeta down, and then Gohan learning so much from Vegeta. And Gohan is not like his dad. Gohan actually, will make those sacrifices into killing those enemies. And I know there's some enemies that you can feel that you can change into good, which I do have as well. But there's some enemies that you just cannot get through, like Frieza, for example. Frieza is a person that you cannot get to. I don't believe that he should ever been brought back. If anything, I thought that Cell would be brought back, but in my story, again, it's different. Cell does come back in that one for a brief moment in time, and he actually causes a lot of problems. But in that time, like I said, Gohan, it even goes into Trunks' future as well, because Gohan has to go to that future, otherwise that future can actually alter the other timelines. And it's a whole, like I said, it's a whole nother dramatic story. A lot of people die, a lot of emotions happen. Bulma has died in one of the universes, and it's a tragic death. Screws with Trunks to where Trunks is on the verge of being a villain and trying to be a ruler of the universe, and it's crazy outlook on that too, which Gohan has to intervene as well. And like I said, if I can find somebody that can help me out into creating this into an anime form, I don't know what I have to do, or the money that I have to put up, or the things I have to do, but I'm kind of willing to do that. Maybe we can find support through the anime fans, especially the Dragon Ball fans, into keeping this alive and pushing this on to the future. But I promise you, my story is way different, has more captivating essence in the whole genre as it is. If someone is willing to talk to me or to contact me, they can contact me on here. They can contact me on ssj7brandon@gmail.com and put in the title, Gohan or story or whatever, so that we can go further on in this and make it into an anime, which I know that a lot of fans would love to see this in an anime, to see this in a form in the storytelling that I have behind it. Like again, I'm probably rambling and stuff like that. But anyway, you guys have a great day. If I find some people that want to do this, like I said, I'm going to show you how Gohan reaches his level, and it's not easy. It's not easy. The story is not very easy at all. The story is very confusing. There's a lot of stuff that happens. This might be 100 episodes. I don't know, but maybe I think no more than 80, but there could be more, 100 or more. And then, like I said, we can go on further even than that. I even have other stories that I could tell and make it even better. Maybe Gohan's kids, and he just becomes the trainer and just helps them as they grow and stuff like that. But like I said, if I can find somebody who can help me animate this and put this into an anime form, I know a lot of the fans would love it. The story is very awesome, and I think that we can capture a lot. I mean, because Dragon Ball Super is not coming along very fast, and they're going on a different way and bringing Brawly and Frieza back, and I mean they're good characters, but at the same time, I mean, don't you want to see what would happen if Gohan started training and never stopped? And the things that he could do, not only training his body and stuff like that, but also training his mind and becoming a scholar and teacher and stuff like that, and moving so fast that he could do multiple things at the same time, and no one would know the difference. Obviously he has to take a leave of absence from school and stuff like that, but like I said, there's not substitute teachers for nothing, right? So, and the substitute teachers would help out during this time that Gohan is actually away. He doesn't become a teacher per se, but he actually becomes a scholar, a rich scholar, and because of Fidel and Hercule and King Yama, or not King Yama, the Ox King. There's a lot of things that are going on. So like I kind of like tell the basics and keep it like, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Oh yeah, that works. This makes sense. Yeah, I don't go off the wall and stuff. I actually explain the things that happen and the training that happens for everybody. And like I said, if you see what Dende ends up doing too, and in this story, Dende actually becomes a very powerful character, almost on par. Well, depending on the definition, but almost on par as far as Piccolo. But in my story, Piccolo has another transformation and gets stronger as well too, and helps Gohan even further. Goku does too. Vegeta, like I said, the battle that happens, the training that happens between Vegeta and Gohan is on another level, and because of what happens, is on another level. Like Gohan pushes the limits of Vegeta, and Vegeta just has no choice but to open up and break down. But you guys have a great day. I hope to see you guys soon. If I get a lot of response back to this, and hopefully I can get somebody that can put this into anime form or fighting form, kind of like good, something that people will want to watch. The story I know for sure people are going to love. Get back to me. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.